So I'm leaving the courthouse. Um, I really try my hardest not to say anything negative, but I'm going to ask this because I have to document things for the record. So, going into the courthouse, I told you how they always have something ready for me or staged. So today I go into the courthouse. They have a couple of the gentlemen that are federal officers. They're normally there. But then they had a new person, an older black woman. So it was her task to go through my bags. Of course, she took forever, pretending that she couldn't find something. So first she was looking for the case, to my glasses. And then secondly, she was looking for a knife. She said, the pins that I had in my bag looked like a knife. And I said, no, it did not. And then she goes, why do you have to be so nasty? And I said, because there's no knife. It does not look like a knife. I said, maybe that's your observation, but I don't have anything in my bag that looks like a knife. And then she just like looks at me, and then she's like, well, you don't have to be so nasty about it, which I was not. I just told her that it was not a knife. And then she goes, well, it looked like a knife. I said, ma'am, I said, don't say something in my bag looks like a knife, because that's a criminal act. And I'm getting ready to enter the bankruptcy court, so I wouldn't have a knife going into the bankruptcy court. And then she just looks at me and stares, and then she goes, you have a good day. So that's what was happening prior to me going into court. And then of course I went into court, and then I waited because I was apparently an hour early. I thought I had to be here at 10, but that's for next Monday. So this Monday I only had to be there at 11. So those were the events for today. Well, that was this morning. Of course, when I left my home, they had the neighbor, Leah Patrice Jones Menace, tapping on the wall. And then they had aerial surveillance over my home, 7 a.m., with a airplane doing aerial surveillance over my home. And then when I left, of course, they were stalking me, because they started stalking me through the streets. I showed you that video. So basically, this is what happens. This is what the United States government does, targeting and terrorizing people for no reason at all. None whatsoever. They have no reason to target, terrorize, stalk, and harass me. But United States government, that's what they get off doing.